friends, it's Carly, and today I want to share an easy way to make a slider card because some stamps just need to move, like these adorable roller skates from Catherine Pooler Designs. Now I want to add some rainbow stripes to my card, so I'm going to make some colored cardstock with ink blending. After talking about ink blending in my last video, a lot of you asked me what my favorite cardstock is to use for blending with dye inks, and it's Bristol. I just find it so easy to blend on the smooth Bristol surface, and so I think if you ever have a hard time blending dye inks, definitely give it a try. Now that I've blended and cut all my little rainbow stripes and gathered the rest of my supplies, I'm going to kind of plan out my layout. So I'm using the channel slider die from the Essentials by Ellen Swing and Slide set, and I'm planning to have it in the middle of my card. So I'm going to have the stripes on the bottom, my roller skate along that slider channel, and then my little sentiment in the top right corner. I used a glue pen to adhere all of my stripes, and I'm going to trim off the excess. And then I'm going to position that channel die kind of in the middle, right where I want it, tack it down with a little bit of low tack purple tape, and run it through my die cut machine. Now I've got my panel all loaded up on my MISTI, and I'm going to stamp Let the Good Times Roll. And then after that, it's time to make my little slider mechanism. So to make that, I have 2 cardstock circles. I've got these little plastic slider pieces, but you could also use a foam adhesive circle or a small button or something like that. And then I'm going to use some strong liquid glue to adhere the slider piece to the cardstock circle. Now I like to use adhesive that won't dry sticky and cause the slider element to get caught up. So the Lawn Fawn glue, I found that works really well. But I also like Distress Collage Medium or Ranger Multi-Medium. So you can kind of just test it out and see what works for you. So then I adhere the second circle on top to complete the slider mechanism. And then I set it aside to dry. And after letting it dry completely, I can carefully insert my slider mechanism into the slider channel. And you can see I'm really struggling, but it's actually not that hard. For some reason, sometimes when I do something on camera, I just make it seem much harder than it is. You could also take your slider mechanism, and before you glue both circles on it, you could put it together in the channel and then glue it, if that makes sense. I used 2 layers of foam tape on the back of my slider panel to give the mechanism room to move and also support that slider channel. And then I just adhered that whole thing to my card front. Then I have a blank roller skate die to adhere to my colored one to give it just a little bit of extra support. And then I'm going to adhere that roller skate to the slider mechanism with a little glue dot, or actually a few glue dots. And now it slides, which is so fun. Now I'm just adding a few little touches, like coloring the good in my sentiment pink and adding a little double-sided tape over the green stripe so I can glitter it. Once I trim the tape to fit, I just remove that tape liner paper and add glitter. And then of course, once I have a little bit of glitter, I've decided I want more glitter. So I'm adding glossy accents to the good in my sentiment and the clouds on my skates. And then while that glossy accents is wet, I can sprinkle a little bit of glitter over the top. And I quickly just want to show you a few variations of slider cards. So on this card, I added the die cut star trail under the slider channel. I colored the card front with Copic marker and added a little glitter where the stars will show. And on this card, I used a rainbow die cut underneath the little scoop channel die. I added some glitter clouds on each side, and then the roller skates just move back and forth. So thank you so much for watching. You can find more information in the video description, including a link to my blog where I have more photos. And please feel free to leave me a comment because I love hearing from you. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting.